Pretty cool, huh? Going into the lock. Okay, up there in front of us is the lock, and we're docked. So we're waiting for the gates behind us to completely close, and then they'll open those gates in front of us. There's still some boats coming in. This is going to fill up with water and push us out that way.
Look behind us, those gates have started to close slowly. Now, if you're really worried about missing what this looks like, I'll give you a recreation if you're really worried about that. It looks like this. That's it, that's all you're missing. Now, once those gates are fully closed, that's when the gates in front open up. Now, before I get into the history of Chicago, let's talk about the lake today. Now, if you look out there, you'll notice the water is very calm, but there are other boats out there as well. So, if a fast boat passes us, we may catch that boat's wake, the waves that it leaves behind. So, if the boat starts to bob around, and I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be violent at all, you're not going to get knocked over really, but just in case, if it starts to move around a little bit, if you're standing up, my go-to phrase is bent knees, ready for anything, fight stance. You can move with the boat. If you got bent legs, you got straight legs, you may fall over. Also, if you're walking... Now, I'm going to get into the history of Chicago. Now, to start with the history of this city, I'm going to start in the year 1673 with two guys by the name of Jacques Marquette and Louis Joliet. Jacques Marquette was a Jesuit priest, and Louis Joliet was a cartographer and an outdoorsman, a map maker, and they were two Frenchmen that were tasked by France to find a trade route from Canada through the Mississippi River into the Pacific Ocean. Now, if you're picturing a map of the United States right now, you will realize the trade route I just mentioned didn't exist. They found a trade route to the Gulf of Mexico through the Mississippi, and on their way to the Gulf, they encountered their first indigenous tribe called the Illinois people. Now, the Illinois, that is what the state is named after, and they introduced Marquette and Joliet to another tribe by the name of the Potawatomi. Let's talk about the Potawatomi for a second, because that's whose land Chicago is standing on. The Potawatomi were a part of something called the Council of the Three Flames. That was three tribes, the Ojibwa, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi people, and they were like a centralized government among the indigenous people in the northern Midwest. The Potawatomi specifically controlled the power among these people, and that is why the Potawatomi name translates into keepers of the flame, or really guardians of the power. Now, speaking of translating Potawatomi, right now I'm going to teach you guys two words in the Potawatomi language. French high school students on it. They did not correct me, their teachers did correct me. The way to properly pronounce this man's name, it would be Jean-Baptiste de Sable. If I'm pronouncing these slightly well, I am not good at French. He sold beaver pelts, and beaver pelt hats became a huge success doing this. So much so that other people started to settle around his trading post and create trading posts for themselves. All of that growth in population and trade caught the attention of the American government whenever Jean-Baptiste Potawatomi woman named Kathy in the early 1800s. Her name was Kitty Hawa. He married her, sold his land to the United States, then got out of here, left the area. On the plot of land that he sold to the U.S., they built a military fort there called Fort Dearborn in 1803. Fort Dearborn, built in 1803, is considered the first major... Hey, guess what it's going to be?
The fair.
You're all over it. It's the fort, the fire, the fair, and the fair. Fort Dearborn, that was the first one, built in 1803, slow-moving population-wise until 1817. That is when the Erie Canal got put in, and it brought a whole lot of trade to the Great Lakes. So much so, by March 4th of 1837, we had a population of 3,000 people and were officially dubbed the City of Chicago. Happened. Guess what it was?
The fire.
Fire, the second F. Now, I have another question for you. I'm looking for a one-word answer here, and if you know it, yell it out. Who or what started the fire? Cow. Cow, cow, cow. O'Leary's cow. The story goes, Catherine O'Leary